So I taught Smallant how to speedrun Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. This game is insanely broken. I've had so much fun like actually going for like records on this. So I want to see how the video went. Let's do this.
I beat Pokemon Brilliant Diamond in 17 minutes, with a level 5 Turtwig, a fishing rod, and a lot of sandwiches. This speedrun is a weird, complicated mess, and I'm going to do my best to explain it. I started the game and quickly changed the settings so the text was faster, the battle animations were off, and the whole run was silent and incredibly awkward.
Yeah, that's speedruns for you. It's the awkward thing because like you turn off the music and then like it makes the game faster. You just skip the jingles. It's so silly, but man, saves time. It's like 5 minutes on glitchless.
And performed the first glitch of the run, menu storage, or as I like to call it, sandwich making. By pressing the 2 Z buttons on my controller in quick succession, the game opens up a duplicate menu on top of the existing one. If you close the duplicate menu, it tricks the game into thinking there's no menu open anymore, so you can run around as if there isn't a giant box blocking your view.
I love this edit.
Regular menu,
it explains it perfectly.
This is the bread to the sandwich. Bread is pretty great. Going into a door and eating a slice of bread will stop you from entering the house and freeze the entire world. This means that wild Pokemon, they don't appear anymore. Story events, like talking to Dawn, doesn't trigger. Dawn's clone doesn't trigger either. Trainers? No, they're blind now. You can freely walk all the way to Jubilife with nothing to stop you. But now there's a problem. The whole world is still frozen. What do you do to unfreeze it? Well, you're gonna have to reset the game, but you haven't saved yet. And by using the glitch in this way, it won't let you open the menu again. So here's how the speedrun gets around that. I do the glitch multiple times, stacking the menus, creating 3 pieces of bread.
The bread
toss
sandwich.
the top one away to trick the game into thinking it's unpaused. Now, without seeing anything, I walk into the door and eat another piece of bread. This freezes the world, but I still have another menu open.
So just to like put this into perspective, the origin of this is because this is called a menu sandwich, and the way that it works is you're basically like, the bread is the menu, and you keep stacking bread on top of each other to make the sandwich. And now he's probably going to explain the ham part here in a second, just because like, we can't just have a bread sandwich all the way through.
Able to run
we need the ham
and save the game with the remaining piece of bread, then reset the game to get it back to normal. Now, I bet you're thinking, 3 pieces of bread? That's not a respectable sandwich. So it's time to pick up the main ingredient, the ham. Well, it's actually the old rod, but just go with it. It's ham, okay? By using the menu storage glitch, it's possible to register the old rod onto 2 different slots. So, when pressing the plus button, this pops up. This menu is the delicious ham. When you try to use the old rod on land, Rowan's words echo. And with this text box, not only can it freeze an action, but if an action is currently frozen, it resumes as normal. This ham is powerful. With the near infinite power of ham sandwiches, the next goal of the speedrun is to go straight to the Pokemon League. Fortunately, this lady loves ham sandwiches and is going to help us do it. The action that she performs is to create a text box telling us, the GWS isn't ready yet, and then to push the player back. She has an unusual taste though. Her perfect sandwich, 1 slice of ham with 3 pieces of bread stacked on top.
Dude, those NPCs are picky, dude.
I walk into her and distract her with the first piece of bread. This keeps the text box open and allows me to run away. Interrupting her action like this freezes the world too, so I'm able to breeze past Barry and a few trainers while I find a jumpable ledge. I jump the ledge here, but in the middle of it, I press B to close the text box.
So, believe it or not, by the way, we used to make a bigger sandwich, and we called it a menu lasagna because it had like the ham, the 2 breads, and then another ham, and then 2 more breads, because we didn't know that we could use the text to completely clear it. And so what we had to do was we had to time it so that when we jumped over this ledge right here, we would bring up the key item. And the instant that we brought up the key item, we would use that key item like storage to keep us in the air instead of the GW text. But then we figured out that the GW text is a little bit faster. So now we have a smaller sandwich instead of, the Chicago style lasagna.
Closing a menu in the process. By closing her text, it allows her to telekinetically push me into the sky.
It's so cool though.
The last piece of bread is just there, so I can't touch the ham yet. I run back to Jubilife, toss that bread, and tap down to eat the ham, which fixes all the freaky stuff going on in the world. Aside from the whole floating thing. I'm not done with her yet, though. We need her telekinetic push 1 more time. So we grab 2 pieces of bread, interrupt her with one of them, and run back down to Route 202, where I'm flying high enough to run right over the trees, out of bounds. I do still have a piece of bread, which I'm saving for later, but now we're gonna run through the void until we reach the Pokemon League. By following a little map and echolocating using wall bonks for a few minutes, I navigate past Orberg, Eterna,
I like
and
this
Celestic
visual.
Town to run straight into.
Because normally we don't have like any maps or whatsoever. Actually, I'm gonna go ahead and pull this up real quick. So normally with the notes, it just has directions on where to go, but this is the map right here that we would normally follow in the speedrun if we want to like do it without bonks and stuff. But like the method that Smallant's doing right now is just way easier. So I had him do that instead of like this crazy shit because like it's really, really precise. It's intense. It's very, very intense.
An invisible wall.
Bonk. 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 Weird.
This is where the telekinetic push comes into play. I can close our text box, which then pushes me through the invisible wall, and I'm now under the Pokemon League. But it's not loaded into the game, so I have to use that remaining piece of bread to save and reset. Upon reloading, I'm under the waterfall, so I find a conveniently placed cutscene trigger to enter the building and come to the final challenge of the run. Getting past the Elite Four members and Cynthia. Well, I gotta get past this dude first, so I get some bread, interrupt the escalator, clip out of bounds, and save and reset behind him to enter the loading zone. Finally, after a long and grueling, like 10-minute adventure, I reached the Elite Four with a level 5 Turtwig that's won a single battle. Oh, and did I mention a sandwich isn't gonna work here? To get past these Elite Four members, I need to do the unthinkable,
Reverse sandwich.
unbelievable, the impossible. Inverted sandwich. Meat on the outside, bread on the inside. By using ham to interrupt the game while I walk through the door, it pauses the room entrance animation. So I'm able to walk to the top of the room and use another ham to resume the entrance animation. And then the game is like, oh yeah, he's walking into the room. Just go right ahead, straight through the wall. The timing on this is actually pretty tough, so getting it right
It's
4
super
times in a row
tricky.
was nerve-wracking. But on this run, I pulled it off all on the
I fail this all the time, but I saw Smallant get it like 5 times in a row. He's being very humble about this. He's actually really good at this part. But what it does is like, because like when you close the doors behind you, it'll keep that momentum when you like activate the key item and then just like push you all the way up. It's interesting how it all works. Like key item storage is really busted.
first try. Only Cynthia was left, and because she doesn't have any locked doors, it's actually really easy to skip her with just a single piece of ham.
Yep.
Just walk in, let her start talking, eat the ham. Rowan busts into the room early. There's a time and place for everything, but not now, Cynthia. She's just so stunned that I take the elevator and walk into the Hall of Fame.
Let's go!
After all is said and done, I enter the credits with 17 minutes in the game, 20 minutes in real life, and a 4th place spot on the speedrun leaderboard. I just learned the speedrun today, but I thought it was interesting enough for a dedicated YouTube video, so I hope you enjoyed. Thanks to PulseEffects for teaching me all the tricks and helping me out with the script. Go check them out if you want more Pokemon content. That's all for now, though. Subscribe if you liked it.
Yeah. I seriously had so much fun. Like, big shout outs to Smallant for, having me in the first place. I had a really good time. And, if anyone else also wants to learn about speedrunning, be sure to subscribe here. And also, if you don't know Smallant, check him out too. Thanks for watching.